Hello and welcome YouTube. This is Cookie Monster of ProForgeRacing bringing you the results and highlights for the 5th official Dirty Racing League tournament. Again, I apologize, I'm recording this the same day as the 4th tournament. I have been sick for several days, making me unable to record audios, but I'm feeling a little bit better, still a little nasally though. This was again a really fun tournament, lots of crashes, lots of smashes. Right there you could see myself taking my rival Passante off the berm. I messed myself up, but it was fun. This first track here is Bright Flame SX by X-Rains. Most of his tracks are really good and great for dirty racing, but this one had like 4 inconsistent jumps or so it just wasn't quite as good as we had hoped. Right there you can see I flip myself, and then when I recover, I get passed by Bean and Lukey Wood, and Lukey Wood wrecks me when he passes me. Right here, you can see Jeff is close to the leader, but he ends up failing a jump and gets passed by Jake. And then right here, he falls way far behind because he keeps failing the jumps. Right here, Lukey and D-Mage are kind of going at it, and D-Mage passes Lukey. And then on the next berm, Lukey passes D-Mage, and then he messes up the jump, and D-Mage passes him. And then up here you can see they both fail together. Lukey kind of passes D-Mage, and then D-Mage passes him, so it was like crazy. Right here, I knock D-Mage off the track into my rival Passante, and I completely messed him up. Right here, Jeff does the same thing on the next lap, except to Killer Bane, which was pretty hilarious. That was kind of like a deadly berm, or lots of crashes. Right here, yeah, that right there is where Jeff kind of does the same thing. I think I was one result behind myself. The positions were Unknown Gaming in first, and this was his first race ever in the DRL. Then Jake Bobius, Jeff, King Edward, Passante, Bean05, D-Mage, Cookie Monster, Lukey Wood 08, and Killer Bane VII, and that was Killer Bane's first race in the DRL as well. And I believe Passante. Gaming ended up waiting almost 2 minutes for Killer Bane, because Gaming is a very experienced racer in the Outlaw Racing League. Killer Bane has never raced competitively before, so that's very understandable. But this was another great tournament, so much fun. This was a very good race. Unfortunately, the map was not the most consistent map ever, but we still had a blast on it. We made the best of it, although I did horribly. I completely, I did terrible. But the 10 people I listed at the beginning are obviously the 10 people who are in this tournament, or not at the beginning, at the end there, are obviously the 10 people in this tournament. This next map here is Coloring. This one is by Whiskey Worm, legendary map maker, legendary racer as well. This is the first tournament of mine Whiskey Worm hasn't been in. He won the first 3 that I hosted. Got second by 1 point in the 4th one, and so luckily he wasn't in this one, so we didn't have him to compete with. But right here, I'm just ahead of Gaming, who's ahead of Passante, and Passante ends up flipping himself and lands on Gaming and causes him to flip too. Right here, I take a wide turn, allowing Passante to think he can pass, but then I take him into the wall, allowing Gaming to pass him. Right here, I'm just showing you how far ahead Jake Bobius is behind Edward, or ahead of Edward, who's in 2nd place. It's about a 10-second gap between 1st and 2nd. Jake had a huge lead on this one. Right there, Gaming ended up flipping himself on that same turn, and he allowed Passante and almost Bean to pass him. Right here, I am in 4th place. I end up flipping myself into a wall, and I get passed by 3 people. I get passed by Bean, Gaming, and Passante, going from 4th to 7th, and I blamed it on Passante, even though it was completely my fault. But at the end here, Jake waits almost a minute and a half for Killer Bane, and he had a really good race. But not only is Killer Bane, as I said, an inexperienced racer, he hadn't raced any of the maps before, so I think it's pretty cool that he could even compete with everyone. I was never able to catch up after I got wrecked, by the way. But you just saw the positions for this one. I only had it up there for 20 seconds, and I had more to say. But yeah, this was awful. After I got wrecked and passed by 3 people, I didn't catch up to a single one of them. I was so pissed with that. All 3 of them were right behind me. If I had made one bad move, I would have been passed by 3 people. And of course, I made one bad move. and so thus I was passed. The next map here that we raced is Lunar Cross by Cookie Monster myself, and this is an off-roading map. It's meant to be pretty rough. It's meant to be bumpy. Right here there's a natural 10-second kill barrier built into the map. I didn't add that there. That's built into impact, and so you could see a few people die there, but it's really close to the beginning of the track, so that's good. Right there is a really steep hill, which is really fun. The video for this map, the official video for it, will be coming out soon. I just haven't been able to make it because I've been busy making all these DRL videos, which take a while, but they're worth it and fun. But this was another great race. Lots of dirty stuff going on here. I have several highlights for this map because it was just a lot of fun. Right here you can see myself. I passed gaming on the steep gravity uphill, which was kind of a really nice pass, and that was for first place. Right here you can see Jeff ends up passing me on the downhill for second place, and then I just cannot catch up to him, which kind of sucked. But right here myself and Jeff are trying to catch up to gaming. We're right behind him and he's in first, but Lukey Wood is kind of a nuisance and just ends up blocking us. It's accidental, but he blocks us, but then we end up both lapping him. Right here myself and Jeff and Lukey Wood all slam into the wall, and then I end up failing off of Jeff trying to pass him, and then Lukey Wood tries to pass me and ends up failing too, so we all kind of failed together there. Right here Lukey gets stuck and he's like, "I'm going to die," in his awesome British voice. he makes it out of the kill barrier, but then it still kills him anyway. Oh my god, it was just so funny. It was kind of a you had to be there moment, but it was hilarious. The positions were Jeff in first, Unknown Gaming, Cookie Monster, Jake Bobius, King Edward, Bean, Passante, D-Mage, Killer Bane in 9th, and Lukey Wood in 10th. Jeff waited about 2 minutes for Lukey Wood and Killer Bane to finish. You know, this is between first place and last place. But it turns out Killer Bane and Lukey Wood had only finished 9 laps, so they had one more to do. But I didn't keep that in the... They actually did complete their last lap. When people are a lap behind and everyone has finished but them and they still have one more to go, I usually don't make them finish unless they want to. And in this case, since there was 2 of them especially, they both had to finish. Or they both chose to, I guess. But I didn't put that in the video because that would have extended this end part way too long. I don't know if you like my scenery there. I added a huge rocket ship, and I also added a satellite up in the sky, if you could see that. And then I added a couple aliens using the mantis. Ordo Malleus gave me that idea, using mantises to make them look like people or aliens. This map is Purple and Gold by Go Get It Rules. This is a really, really awesome and unique map. It's very, very fun. It's on Ragnarok, as you can see. It has a few sharp turns like those ones right there. It's kind of like a little S section, and so much fun because it's crazy. At the very, very beginning, I don't know if you saw, but Bean ended up falling off his mongoose and he got pulled by Passante, and then Jeff ended up pushing D-Mage up a hill into a tree, which was funny. But right there, Jake takes out Lukey Wood in the background while Passante takes me out in the foreground. Right here, I take out Jake Bobius into a wall. Killer Bane, right here, goes out of the bordering pretty far, but he doesn't end up dying, which was lucky. Right here, Bean comes flying down the bridge and ends up hitting a rock and just starts flipping like crazy. That was awesome. Right here is kind of an epic fail because Edward fails the jump, and then D-Mage and Lukey Wood both fail it at the same time, and Bean kind of does because he hits a wall, so it was like a triple fail. Right here, Killer Bane fails and ends up dying where he almost died earlier. He slides right between Unknown Gaming and Passante and blew up. The positions for this one were Jeff in first, then Unknown Gaming, Passante, Jake Bobius, Cookie Monster, King Edward, Bean, Lukey Wood, Killer Bane, and D-Mage in 10th. This was a really fun race. I actually like this map a lot. I had only practiced it I think once before the tournament, but I still didn't do that bad. But it's definitely a unique map. It's a lot different than, you know, some of the ones, especially because he added a few big jumps, like sky section jumps like that one right there, and he added the huge like the sky section bridge at the end and stuff, so it made it a bit more fun. But those are the first 4 maps right there, bringing us to our 5th map in a second, which is another chaotic map called Sky by Nuked Ice Cream. This is his second Haven map. The first one was Hectic Hell. Only a third Haven map I've seen. The only other one is mine, Cloud 9. But this was a really good map for DRLing. We did 15 laps because it's so short. Right here, Passante and Jeff both end up messing up, and then D-Mage and Lukey Wood are kind of battling it out right behind them. If you can see D-Mage and Lukey Wood right there, kind of lagging but going at it. Right here, Killer Bane ends up flipping and he blocks Bean, and then Cookie flips on Bean and Edward comes in and slams into the group, so that was chaotic. And then right there, you can kind of see Lukey Wood. He cut me off and ended up slamming me into the wall. Right there, I end up wrecking Bean into the wall, and I kind of caused him to flip as well. Jake ended up winning. He was lapping about half the group. He waited about a minute for D-Mage at the end. So Jake won, then King Edward got second, then Bean, Jeff, Passante, Gaming, Lukey Wood, Cookie Monster, Killer Bane, and D-Mage in 10th. Everyone finished pretty close together. Even though, like, Jake was still lapping people because the map is so small. It's the first and only map in the DRL that has ever been used for more or less than 10 laps. Every other map has always been used 10 laps. This one was used for 15. But the last map here was Vestige by Whiskey Worm and Whiskey Warm, excuse me. This was another great DRL map. A lot of fun. Very nice to see another map finally on Vortex, because pretty much besides my two maps, there really hadn't been any Vortex maps, so it was pretty cool to see another one. I've seen a few since this one, but it's still a great map, a lot of fun. One of the first ones, I think the very first one I've seen with like a little bit of sky on it as well, so that was awesome, definitely. Right here, D-Mage flips himself, and then he flips himself again when he recovers. And that time, Unknown Gaming comes by and crushes him right there. Unknown Gaming takes him out. So, D-Mage is having a rough race. Right here, Lukey Wood flips and he blocks Gaming and Cookie, myself. You can see him right there blocking Gaming, and then I come up and we have to kind of push him. Lukey Wood's always in the way. Right here, I end up flipping Lukey Wood and wrecking him just for getting in the way. That's his punishment. Right here, Gaming and Lukey are battling it out, and Lukey ends up going sideways into the wall. Right here, I flip Lukey Wood on the same exact turn and wreck him again, the exact same turn. Jake ended up winning. He waited about a minute and 20 seconds or so for Killer. The positions for this one were Jake in first, then Bean, Jeff, Edward, Passante, Gaming, D-Mage, myself all the way in 8th, Lukey Wood in 9th, and Killer Bane. That race was really Lukey Wood. Lukey Wood was trying to mess everyone up. I wrecked him twice. He got himself wrecked a few other times. Lukey Wood was just he was getting wrecked more than a prostitute. He was just getting destroyed that race. Lukey Wood's a riot. He's really funny in the tournaments because he's always messing everyone up, and as you can see, he's a nuisance and he's always in the way. I'm kidding, but final results for this one were Jake Bobius with 89, Jeff just 1 point behind with 88. Kind of happened to Jeff in the last tournament, except he won by 1 point instead of lost. Then Unknown Gaming, Edward, Passante, and Bean tied in 5th. Cookie Monster in 7th. D-Mage, and then whatever. You can see the rest. It went away before I could read it. But if you guys want to get involved in some fun tournaments for the Dirty Racing League, please sign up to the squad. Go to halotracks.org, HT Squads, HT Dirty Racing League. Sign up in the DRL Members List, and then at the top of that sub forum, go to Open Tournaments, and you can sign up for the newest tournaments there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was funny. I hope this was entertaining and you liked it, and I hope it encourages some of you to race yourself. Thank you guys.